From the truth behind the Metro bombing to the way Peter turns into a real night agent, here's the night agent's controversial ending explained. Starting with who was responsible for the Metro bombing and why it happened, the names of the people who did the Metro bombing, the details of the cover-up, and the reason for the attack are all important to the story of the night agent. Why? Well, because it's all connected. Redfield and Wick planned the terrorist attack, and they hired Colin Worley to set off the bomb. Diana Farr had nothing to do with the plan and didn't find out about it until after it had already happened. She did take steps to hide the truth, though, about what Redfield and Wick had done from the public in the White House.
Diane really believed in the president's agenda and really wanted the president to stay in office as long as she could in order to get those things done and accomplished.
However, Peter and Rose quickly learned that the bombing of the Metro was never just a terrorist act. The whole point was to hide the fact that Omar Zadar was killed. Zadar was a foreign politician who'd been linked to terrorist attacks on U.S. land in the past. This made him a very controversial figure. But because Zadar was well-liked and powerful, President Michelle Travers thought the U.S. government needed to move past this and work with him. But Redfield thought that joining forces with someone like Zadar would make the country unstable. So he took matters into his own hands and tried to kill him. Wick thought the same way, but he was also interested in his own business. Farr said that Zadar's political rival gave billions to Wick's business. However, if you thought the truth behind this plan was shocking, the next one's even more surprising. Now you've got to wonder, what exactly was the plan to kill the president that VP Redfield and Gordon Wick came up with? After the Metro bombing failed, Redfield and Wick decided to try and kill Zadar again, but this time with Farr's help. Unfortunately, as things went on, the plan got bigger, and the two of them also plotted to kill President Travers. Farr, on the other hand, didn't know about this part of the plan. She only knew what their first plan was. Redfield and Wick must have decided on their own that Travers had to die. In fact, Redfield told his daughter that he thought Travers was soft, which was just as dangerous to him as the person they were trying to kill. Plus, her death would help Redfield, Wick, and all of their players in a direct way. If she died, Redfield would become president, and if someone helped him, he could pardon them. Peter and Rose's threats to tell the truth in The Night Agent made it seem like he and Wick had to have that power. Farr wouldn't agree, so they left her out and went from planning to kill Zadar when his plane arrived to sneaking a bomb into Camp David. This would kill Zadar, Travers, and Chelsea, who knew something about what they did in the first season of The Night Agent. But because Peter and Rose told Farr what was going on, the plot to kill Farr was stopped. Then Redfield was punished for what he did, but Wick still went free for now. Farr still hid the fact that everyone was involved, downplayed the danger, and made sure there were people to blame. Briggs, Redfield's new right-hand man, then threatened that Farr shouldn't have been at Camp David and shot her. Thankfully, Rose saved Farr's life by putting pressure on the gunshot wound with a pillow. Still, it's definitely true that Farr's double agent work with Redfield and Wick's shocking plans could lead to a very difficult criminal trial in Season 2. Now, apart from big plots like this one, there are smaller questions on my mind. Like, where are Rose's aunt and uncle now? Emma and Henry were killed as they got closer to finding out the truth about the Metro bombing. They may have been attacked because they told Zadar his life was in danger. This theory definitely has some truth to it, because one actor confirmed that even though Emma and Henry didn't have any proof yet, they probably told Zadar that someone tried to kill him. Speaking of the fates of smaller characters, it's still unclear who took Maddie and why. Colin Worley, the man who bombed the Metro, took Maddie, who's the daughter of Vice President Redfield. After Wick's killers killed Colin's innocent twin brother Mateo, instead of him, Colin pretended to be Mateo and let everyone think he was the one who died. Then, he planned to take Maddie, as a way to force Vice President Redfield to admit that he'd done wrong. Redfield, on the other hand, is so busy with his sick plans that he doesn't even notice that Maddie's gone missing. The ending also revealed an important mystery that we were trying to solve. How did Peter Sutherland's father die? In the Season 1 ending of The Night Agent, Peter finally got the answers he was looking for about his father. This was an important part of the story.
Sorry. Where did it lead? The Pentagon breach.
The answers that were given at the end of the show showed the truth. They revealed their suspicions about Peter Sutherland Sr. were unfortunately right. As his taped statement showed, he did commit treason. He told a foreign spy about government secrets in exchange for money, even though he knew what they were really about. Because of what he did, the security at the Pentagon was broken. But instead of dying in a car accident as a spy, as most people thought, Peter's father made a deal with the White House to become a double agent, probably to make up for his past mistakes. His work as a double agent was what led to his death, but Peter didn't find out the whole story until the end of season 1 of The Night Agent. He only found out because Travers owed him a favor. That's not all he discovered though. He also changed in a major way. At the end of season 1, Peter turns into a real night agent. Peter was repaid for saving Travers in more ways than one. First, he found out more about his father. He was made a real night agent because of how good he was. It's clear now that he won't have to sit in the FBI basement and listen to the phone. Instead, he'll be able to work in the field and go on secret missions, just like Rose's aunt and uncle. Travers hinted at the scope of the Night Action Project by saying it spans continents and will put Peter in a position to help the country in ways that are vital. He didn't say exactly what he'll be doing or what his first assignment will be, but he did say that it's vital to the country. That brings me to the future of the show and of his career. Will there be a second season of The Night Agent?
Is there anyone from there that you would like to see on this show in a future season?
Oh gosh. I mean, I obviously would want my friends to be on the show. But yeah, I mean, if we could have some flashbacks, that would be cool.
As the end of season 1 of The Night Agent makes clear that the show's got more stories to tell with its characters, especially Peter. Netflix has already said that there will be a second season of the show. It's too early to say what the story will be, but the end of season 1 and what the show's creator, Sean Ryan, has said gives us some clues.
Tell me the inspiration behind The Night Agent. Well, The Night Agent is a book written by Matthew Quirk, and when I read it, I just saw so much of it in my mind, ready to come to life. I had some original ideas that I was able to kind of mesh with that, and I just sat down and wrote the script.
Based on what Ryan said, The Night Agent will no longer be set in Washington, D.C., but in a new place. It's unclear where that'll be, but the move makes sense given what Travers said about how far the Night Agent role reaches. With these comments in mind, season 2 of The Night Agent could happen anywhere on Earth.
The Night Action program runs deeper than you realize, reaches farther than you can imagine, across continents.
It'll also have a mostly new group of characters, which makes sense since the setting will be different. Depending on where season 2 goes and what happens with Gordon Wick, the biggest question mark from season 1 may or may not be answered.
What can viewers expect?
A lot of chasing. There's going to be a lot of running. A lot of surprises. It's just a really great story. It's gonna confuse you a little bit at times, but in that way that we all like. And I'm just really hoping people check it out because I think it's a show that you don't want to miss.
Wick was never caught, so he could be a bad guy who comes back when Peter and Rose's story goes on. And for that, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now that's all for The Night Agent's controversial ending explained.